Hello there again, everyone at YouTube. I am here today to bring you a new review, and I am reviewing the movie Suicide Squad, directed by David Ayer, the next in the line of DC Expanded Universe, Cinematic Universe movies. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Suicide Squad is about a group of criminals who are all held in the same big black site in a maximum security prison, and they are recruited by Viola Davis's character, who wants to use them to do some good in stopping someone who might have the same powers as Superman. So, for example, like, what if the next Superman ended up not being as good to us as the first Superman was? You know what I mean? So, if the next Superman that they encounter, or someone with extraordinary abilities, ended up being evil. So she creates this task force to dissolve or stop threats. So an event occurs in which these criminals are forced to come together to help and go and fight this otherworldly entity, or ancient entity, I should say, that has extreme powers and everything, except they don't know that is what the case is. So I'm going to tell you something right now. I was really excited for Suicide Squad. I actually thought it looked like it would be a fun, just crazy, over-the-top time in a DC movie. And, of course, with all the recent kind of failures with DC movies recently, I was like, this is it. This is where DC's going to go on top, and they're going to be able to finally start competing with Marvel. Well, let me explain my thoughts on this movie. First, of course, let me explain what I really liked about the movie. I loved Will Smith as Deadshot. He did an amazing job as this character, this hitman. His backstory was very interesting. His character was well developed, and I loved it a lot. And same with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she actually provided the best character overall. She really captured the zaniness and weirdness of Harley Quinn and all of that, and she just did a brilliant job doing that. And, of course, I have to talk about Jared Leto as the Joker. Jared Leto did a fantastic job as well, in my opinion. I really enjoyed his portrayal of the Joker. He wasn't too much like Heath Ledger, you know, where he was really, like, completely insane, but he wasn't too much like Jack Nicholson, who was just a straight-up, almost gangster. He was like a combination of both of those, and it made his character a very interesting character. The first 30 minutes of this movie I also liked quite a bit. I love how they established all the members of the Suicide Squad, and they gave either like just a little bit of information. I really like movies that do this, and it actually helps you go like, oh, now I kind of know this character. That's a good thing, because you're not going to know like half the villains here, because at least if you're just like a big movie fan, you're not much of a actual comic book fan who's read all the DC comics, you know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that they did that. But at the same time, it did feel like a little, hey, there's this person, this is what they are, and this is their story. There you go, that's them. Trying to almost make you feel for a character, or like know a character just because of information you're told from exposition. And that's basically like the first 30 minutes or so of this movie, is just explaining these villains, which I felt was a little bit like, okay, that took a long time. Where are we going next? There were a few really well-shot action scenes in the movie I actually did enjoy for the most part, and that's really where DC doesn't actually fail at, is action for the most part. And there is a few good moments with these characters in the movie, but I need to start talking about why this movie was not necessarily really a disappointment, but just failed on so many levels. So the biggest thing that was attributed to this movie as to not really being as good as it could have been is so many poor editing choices. So, what I mean by that is, at times, there would be an action scene going on, but it just it would show a bunch of scenes where these people are fighting these weird amalgamations of some sort, and it's really choppy, and it really just goes all over the place to where you're wondering, wait, that person's there, and this person's doing that, wait, what's going on here? And there was a lot of moments like that in the movie, or like when someone pulled out something like a weapon, or they had a bomb or a charge or something, and they would throw it so that someone else could shoot it or something, and I was like, where did that come from? Or at one point, Killer Croc in the movie, this isn't really a spoiler, it's just a scene that happens, he's swimming underwater in the sewer area fighting, and at some point, I guess, that they started fighting these things, and he's just telling this other guy, go, so that he can hold these things off. But I was like, when did this happen? They just started showing him fighting these things. There's a lot of problems like that in the movie that really started to make me go what is going on anymore? I'm getting so confused as to where scenes are taking place and whatnot, and it really bogged down the movie for me, because it made it so messy and incoherent that you're going why can't I understand what's going on in a simple comic book movie? And because they didn't actually show who the villain really was in the trailers, you might think it's the Joker. It's not the Joker. Actually, that's what I should talk about first. The Joker is not the main antagonist in this movie. That being said, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't really care if the Joker was the main antagonist or not. It didn't matter, and it wouldn't make much sense if Harley Quinn was fighting the Joker. That wouldn't make any sense at all, actually. Joker is more of a kind of a variable, an unexpected variable in all these plans that these people have, or anything. And in the movie, he's trying to actually get Harley away from the custody of all these people. So that's basically what he's doing in the movie. And while some may see that as a big flaw, I don't necessarily, because the Joker isn't the main point of this movie. He's not the main villain. If you want to watch a movie where the Joker's the main villain and he's awesome, go watch The Dark Knight or the original, or Batman 1989. That's all I have to say to you about that. So I didn't really mind it at all. I know that was the trailer's fault for kind of showing just a little bit of the Joker, but not being too much, and making you think that, oh, he's going to be the villain because of all this. And that's understandable. But, as I was saying before, Joker is not the main villain of this movie. I'm going to tell you who the main villain of this movie is. If you don't want spoiled, go see the movie right now, and then come back to the review, because I'm going to spoil it for you. And it's not really a spoiler, because it happens a few minutes into the actual movie. So, I'm going to tell you, this is your warning right now. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. The spoiler here is that the villain is the Enchantress, and in case you don't know who she is, she's some ancient witch or spirit of some sort who possesses this archaeologist, and the Viola Davis's character decides to use the Enchantress as part of this Suicide Squad. But she ends up escaping from her grasp, and ends up and starts causing mayhem, and that's who the Suicide Squad actually needs to take out and everything. So that she's the villain, and a very poor villain at that. She really was, I want to say, poorly written, and that's kind of the case. But at the same time, she's just really not that interesting. I don't think we got enough time to know about this villain, and I don't even know what the motivation for the villain was, really. By the end, I was like, why is she destroying the Earth? Why? Why does she want to do this? Does she want to take over the Earth, or does she just want to kill people? I'm getting confused, and I just didn't think about it by the end. I was like, oh, they stopped her. Yay! Woo! Good job, guys. Anyway, that was just a really big problem as well. The villain just was not really good at all. Especially, and, like, I don't know what the heck was up with all the weird crap she was doing at the end, where she's, like dancing around and everything, like, I'm the Enchantress. So, guys, overall, Suicide Squad was pretty underwhelming. I don't want to say disappointing, because I wasn't near as excited for this movie as I was for Batman vs. Superman. So, when I went into the theater last night and I watched it, and I was just kind of like, yeah, it was an enjoyable time in the movie theater, and I got to see a movie with my friend. I got to hang out with my friend. That was nice and everything. So, I got to do that and everything. So, I didn't really mind that. But overall, the movie was, in fact, very underwhelming. Not necessarily disappointing for me, but I can see why some people would be very, very disappointed with this movie. Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker is very good. I loved some of the portrayals of the characters, most of them, actually. I thought, actually, Jai Courtney was very good in this movie. He actually brought more to this movie than he does with usually any movie he's in. Oh, goodness. Like, I actually was thinking to myself, if Jai Courtney isn't good in this, like, I'm just done taking him seriously as an actor. But yeah, he actually did a very good job. And most of the other characters actually were very good and very developed, except for, like, 3 or 4 of them. And their performances didn't bother me, really, at all. The villain was terrible. There you go. That's all I have to say about that. The editing was so bad. Like, so much had to have been cut out of this movie. There was so much choppiness, and the editing just was really, really bad. And it made me so angry when stuff like that would happen. Because I watch a lot of movies. I notice when stuff is coming out of nowhere, or like scenes are taking place like all over the place, and there's no central conflict. You can't get a sense of as to where these people actually are in consideration of their area that they're fighting in. I tend to notice a lot of stuff like that. So that was definitely a problem. I hope that when they release a Blu-ray of this, they either do like what Batman vs. Superman did and release like an Ultimate Edition or Extended Edition with the footage that they kept out, or put a lot of deleted scenes on the Blu-ray there, because they need to explain why this movie felt so choppy at times, or very poorly edited, for sure. Other than that, yeah, I mentioned all my cons. But I did enjoy this movie. It was a fun time in the theater. I didn't think that I wasted my money necessarily to go see this at 10 o'clock at night. And, but one thing that wasn't really good about this was the audience. And, you know, there's been 3 times now in the past year or so now that I've had a terrible audience in the theater. So I think it is about time I need to make a video about terrible, terrible theater audiences and how they are today. But before I talk to you anymore about that, guys, I gotta say that Suicide Squad is worth watching in the theater. Guys, I want to thank you so much again for watching my video. If you, in fact, liked it, do not forget to like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So, overall, videos that are coming out soon. I'm going to try and catch up with videos that I missed, reviews that I missed this summer. There were some movies I didn't end up reviewing either because I didn't see them till way later than I should have, or I just got lazy and didn't end up doing the review for them. So I'm going to try maybe to get individual reviews out, or maybe just do one whole amalgamation video in which I review multiple at one time in the same video. And we'll see, I'll see where that goes. At this moment, yes, I'm probably actually going to make that theater-going audience, really dumb, obnoxious people video. That probably might be my next video, because I need to talk about this stuff. I need to tell you how awful some theater audiences can actually be. They can be pretty bad. Anyway, guys, if you liked Suicide Squad, or if you, whatever your thoughts were on Suicide Squad, leave those in the comments below. And if you haven't seen Suicide Squad, what's your opinion of the DC cinematic universe at this moment? Do you hate it? Do you love it? I personally think it's rocky right now. If the Justice League movie is any good, or Wonder Woman's any good, then they can start maybe to compete with Marvel, but we'll see at this point. And guys, I want to thank you again so much for watching this video, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Hey guys, me again. I just want to thank you again, as always, so much for watching this video. If you, in fact, did like this video, again, like I said before, like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to see more of my work, check out these two videos. One is my Jason Bourne review, and the other is for my Stranger Things review, the new Netflix show. So, if you are interested in watching either of those reviews, or just checking out my content in general, just start from here, and we'll see. And if you decide you really want to subscribe to my channel, then go ahead and do it. But if not, that's fine too. But again, thanks as always for watching. Bye.